Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to Amazon'sFitMag.com. The podcast is brought to you by GPS Photography and Video. Why photography and video? Because a photo's worth 1,000 words, video's worth a million. GPSPhotoandVideo.com. And of course, the host of Wellness Wednesday, IFBB Wellness Pro, Melitza Guerrero. Melitza, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Mr. Glenn Young?
That's me. Hey, what's been going on with you?
Off season and life.
You are in active off season. I've been seeing some of your posts. Like I said, me as a photographer, I think you look good in season, out of season, 24/7, 365. So I mean, you're always
I'm really
photogenic
happy
to
with
me.
this off season. Like I am so happy with it. I woke up with like still abs today. Like they go away during the day, but still
Mm-hmm.
like the fact that I'm still waking up with abs in the morning, I'm like thumbs up.
Good stuff. So let's talk about the Olympia. It's Olympia week. Everything kicks off here on Wednesday. Um, as you know, this show, of course, is pre-recorded, but we wanted to get it in and talk about some stuff before the biggest show of the year, and that is the Olympia. Been watching Wellness Observer Live, saw their predictions, and I guess we'll go ahead and lead in and talk about wellness first. What are you thinking?
I am thinking there are so many new faces and a lot of them look so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
I think after top five, like I think top five is gonna, or I'll say like top six is gonna stay pretty predictable, just kind of not knowing exactly where they're gonna fall.
Right.
Um, but after like top six, I think we're gonna have a big shakeup. Like I think some of the athletes that were landing like seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth place,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're gonna stay there. Like there's a lot of new faces that are fitting like the new criteria for wellness. And I don't know. I don't think those same like 7 through 11 places are gonna be the same as last year.
And the big news, of course, Francielli is out. She's number two in the world. So there will be at least a change up there in the top three.
Yeah.
But when you look back at the season, it was so critically important to get in front of the Olympia judges because wellness to me changed right before my eyes. Much more beefier glutes. I think that's a good thing, but I mean, it is literally already migrated from last year to this year.
Oh yeah.
It's a big difference. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of competitors, quite frankly, are going to be disenchanted, upset, because the show that they won to get the Olympia is no reflection of what we're about to see on stage here and of course on Wednesday at the Olympia.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, it's so critical to get in front of those Olympia judges. You know, I get it. You got to do a show to get qualified. You do the show because Wolfpack is putting up some major dollars, of course, but it's important and critical that you get in front of the Olympia judges. And then everybody comes together that is the Olympia, and now it's like, okay, you got to be realistic as to how you're going to place and how hard
Yeah.
you push yourself to say, okay, I'm about to take top three, top 10. I mean, it's the best of the best, and it's the best in the world.
Yeah. And again, so many new faces. So I feel like there's like that fine line, and I feel like you have like that the standard wellness look, the girls that look more like Francielli,
Mm-hmm.
Eduarda, because even if you remember this year, even Ryan, they made her change her look a lot this year from what she looked like last year. And even
Mm-hmm.
from Pittsburgh to, I think it was the Texas show that won her Olympia qualification. Because yeah, she didn't get it in Pittsburgh and she didn't get it in Florida either
Right.
because they didn't want that look anymore. And I think that there's still a lot of girls with that look that will be at the Olympia, like the more beefy quads, the
Mm-hmm.
more separated quads. And it's like they don't want that anymore. So there's going to be literally like two kinds of wellness. And I think the top 10 are going to be those that look so similar or most similar to, again, like Eduarda, Franciel, Elisa, the Dominican. Oh, she looks really good this year. Like she looks really, really good this year. Kazanina, I think that's her name. I love her look. I know
Mm-hmm.
she's definitely going to take like top 7. Who else? Obviously we have Giselle, we have Issa, Ryan, which last year she didn't do good. But again, last year she still had like that real beefy look that they didn't want. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this year she's gonna fall back into like the top 7. And then yeah, then you have like the more like different look girls. Like you have Tiffany, um, Alexis is looking really beefy this year, so I don't know exactly where she's gonna fall. I think last year she got 10th place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's just like two completely like different looks. And I'm ready to see like where they're gonna place everyone because that's really like the determining factor for like the rest of next year. And the
Mm-hmm.
look that we're gonna strive to look like is dependent on like pretty much their top 10.
Right.
So
And really muscularity versus shredded. The definition is there, but they're just bigger, fuller glutes.
yeah.
I mean, from what you saw, Pittsburgh, New York, to what we're starting to see late in the season at Texas, and at the end of the day, it just looks like another Brazil and Dominican domination in wellness.
Well, the only Dominican is Elisa.
Mm-hmm.
She's honestly not even the only Dominican. The only Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
like, is Elisa. All the others are Brazilian.
And then the
For,
Canadian, Cassandra Gillis, you know,
yes, I
she's in
almost.
there. So,
Yeah, I'm curious to see where she's gonna fall because it's weird. Like, I don't feel like she necessarily fits like the Eduarda Franciel
mm-hmm.
category, but she also doesn't fit like that super beefy like other category either.
Right.
She's kind of like that fine line. So I am curious like where Cassandra's gonna fall.
Well, we'll know here by Thursday night, Friday.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then next Sunday, make sure y'all get the live stream and watch all the post interviews. And just like that, we're gonna roll immediately into the next season because when you start looking at the shows the official shows release of the shows will be in December, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
some of them have already been announced. Girl Power will be in Orlando. But I guess the biggest thing you could say about Orlando is that the Olympia is moving to Orlando, which has been the
Thank
biggest
God.
story that came out, um, going into Olympia week, which I think is great. And I think like the projected date now is somewhere between the end of September. So it's
Yeah.
slowly creeping back, because the Olympia used to always be like that first, second week of September anyway.
September.
And so
Yeah.
now we've seen it as late as December to November to October, and now we're going to be in September, and it's going to be on Orlando, which is a lot better for me. I'm just going to
For
say this:
everyone.
my
Yes.
budget
Not
does
just
not
for you.
substantiate Vegas. I mean, I get the glitz and glamour of Vegas, but hey, I'll make
Not
that 8 hour
even.
drive
I've
to
heard
Orlando.
so many terrible things about Vegas. I've never been there, but everyone that has been there, I've heard nothing but like bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like everyone that goes to Vegas goes and they're expecting something, and then when they get there, it's kind of like this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
at
of
least
course,
in
you've seen all the
Orlando,
stuff on Instagram, like it looks like a ghost town, and
yeah, at
I
least
don't
in
know, but
Orlando,
hey,
like most families can afford Orlando.
mm-hmm.
And then you go to Disney. Like, if you want to make it like a family thing where it's like, all right, might as well knock two things off with one fucking stone. Like,
Right.
we go watch our son, daughter, whatever at the Olympia, and then we go to Disney.
There you
Where
go.
like Vegas is like you literally spent all your money on the flight and hotel, and
That's it.
You might not even be able to afford food once you get there.
I mean, it all comes in the budget. If you ain't got it, don't go because there's nothing like being stranded out there, no money, and it's like, man, it's just too big of a
Especially
risk, too
Vegas.
big of a
Yeah,
chance.
I've
Yeah.
heard horror stories of people getting stranded out there.
Hmm.
So yeah,
And more than likely in Orlando, they'll go right back to the on the International Boulevard right there at the convention center,
yeah.
um, which means I'll be staying there at the Hampton, just on which is literally like a block away, 1.25 miles, I think, from the convention center. I had a great time when I went down for the Nationals that one year that they had it. And then, of course, at the Olympia in 2023, I had the media pass for the expo. So now I can make a plan and go from there.
We'll be there next year.
Twice. Girl power and then at the
Yes,
Olympia.
because
So.
I'm definitely doing Girl Power. It has become like my favorite show. It
And
has. So I'm
of
definitely doing
course,
Girl Power.
the number of competitors that are in the state of Florida. You know,
Yeah.
Natalia Coelho, Sharonica Hinton, um, Fabiana Adios,
And
women's
it's
body,
just way
to
more
name a few.
accessible and affordable. Like even when I was speaking with Carrie, she's like, getting to Florida is just way more affordable. And she's in the
Mm-hmm.
UK. So it's just more affordable for anyone and everyone all around. So I think
Yeah.
they did a good thing. I think people were probably even like competitors at the Olympia, they were probably kind of starting to maybe not necessarily complain, but voice the fact that like, yeah, like they're in the Olympia, but they can't even bring their families to come see them
Right.
because it's just so much money.
Well, it's always had been in Vegas, and I'm like, I get it, but I'm like, hey, this day and age, and with everything changing and pricing,
Yeah,
uh, just to compete, but not just the competition, but now the economy, the
yeah,
government shut down. How much of a reflection is that going to be on competing this year? And hopefully, it won't be shut down much longer. But I'm just saying, times are getting hard to say the
yeah,
least.
yeah. I agree. But I'm excited. I'm excited
Yeah.
that it's going to Florida. It's nothing but a drive for us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then when I look at it, I don't know if I'll go to Pittsburgh. I definitely will be going to the Arnold's because, like I said, that's affordable. 90% of my family lives in or around Columbus. My sister lives right there in Columbus. Um, so it's literally like how long it take me? 20 minutes maybe from her house to the venue
Oh,
and
cool.
venue in the heaviest of traffic. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I will make plans to be at the Arnold's, waiting on the press pass. Hopefully I'll get it so I can blow it up a little bit more this year doing interviews and whatnot. Now I know a little bit more about the lay of the land.
Hmm.
Also, meet the pros night is always great, but the Arnold's has so much of everything going on in the world of fitness. And yeah, you're only going to have wellness and bikini and fitness, but those are three incredible women's categories that you're going to want to see. So
Yeah.
when you look at it now that you know that Florida looks like the ticket, um, in the overall into next season, like I'm saying, you never know because there may be announcement of some new shows, which is always great. I know I'll definitely be going to the Atlanta Pro again, so that's three: Arnold's, Orlando twice, uh, because of the Olympia, and then of course the Atlanta Pro. So yeah, I'm already down what 4 shows. So and then we just have to see branding. When you look at all this and competitors with everything that's going on, economy, pricing, does it matter what competitors do in the off season to do what they need to do to get to compete in these shows? Because not everybody's making major money unless you're Mr. Olympia or Miss Olympia. You got to go to work,
Hmm.
and the work that you do uh, could affect someone wanting to sponsor you because of what you're doing. And I'm talking about the world of muscle fetish, different websites and stuff that people are doing what they need to do to compete. And then at the end of the day, it's still a choice. You choose to do that or you choose to compete. It's still a choice. And so, but your thoughts on branding and what people do and don't do, does it affect judging? I mean, when they come up there on the stage on the competitor. Oh yeah, I know where I saw her before. Doesn't matter.
Um, well, first and foremost, number one, it's sad that you have to take it to that level. And not speaking of the people doing it, speaking
Mm-hmm.
of the fact that you're a professional athlete and you just outpour so much money into
Mm-hmm.
this sport. And even the people that do that, they also have regular people jobs, but
Yeah.
let's say, for example, their regular people jobs are to pay for regular people expenses. So
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, so now what do you do on the side to pay for your bodybuilding expenses? So it's sad that we have to take it. Well, not we, because I don't really do the muscle fetish, but
Mm-hmm.
it's sad that it needs to be taken to that level in order for people to be able to support themselves as an athlete in the sport. That's first and foremost. Um, Secondly, I don't really think it matters that much. Um, Simply because I don't really think that like the judges are even that invested into what you're doing on the side,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're
Just like they
literally
don't know
like
how many social media followers you got because it's how you
exactly.
show up that day, not the fact that I got 200,000 followers. Hey,
Right, unless
you
you're
know.
like someone that obviously is super active with like 500,000 followers and constantly
Mm-hmm.
like tagging them, then that's different. But like a lot of these people, obviously, like they're not really like if they're putting up like their muscle fetish, like
Mm-hmm.
wherever website they're doing it from, I'm pretty sure they're not tagging the IFBB.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, but at the end of the day, you don't have to do that. You made a choice to do that. It's
right,
kind of like you always hear the story of going to strip club and so I'm just working my way through college. Okay, yeah, really? I mean, because they can get addicted to money, the amount of money and everything everybody's doing out there with the OnlyFans and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, you still don't have to do it. It's a choice that you
it's a
made to
choice.
do it, and then
Hmm.
there's a fallout to that. But just to say, well, this is the only way I compete. I can compete unless I do this, that, and the other. I'm not so much feeling that because there are other legitimate jobs that you can do to get the money to compete. And then at the end of the day, if you ain't got the money to compete, don't compete. Don't mess around and end up losing your house and everything and you're homeless. Well, I did X amount of shows and this is what
Well, and I
happened.
think that that's one of the reasons why they do that is to not
Mm-hmm.
lose their home and not lose, this, that, and the third, and in order to make that side money to support
Mm-hmm.
what you need, because even, let's be honest, like even our food,
Right. Oh,
what the
yeah.
average person spends on food, like even
Right.
just forget about the men, we're speaking about the women.
Just the diet.
What the average person spends on food, a woman competitive bodybuilder is going to spend 3 to 4 times the amount.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then God forbid they have kids, So
Right.
it's
Right.
like I see both points of it. Like me being an active like competitor, like I see both sides of it. That's why to me it's like do whatever you want to do. Like I don't care as long as you're hurting nobody,
Right.
then do what you got to do. And if that's what you have to do to make sure that you're maintaining your household, but then still have
Mm-hmm.
your money to compete, then whatever, go for it. But another thing that I have noticed is that a lot of the people that do like the muscle fetish and stuff, they're really
Mm-hmm.
not like active competitors. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them are like that's just what they do on the side. Like I really haven't seen a lot of like active competitors
Mm-hmm.
do that and promote that.
Yeah, I think
But
it comes
again,
down when they start seeing the amount of money that they're making it, then it's a thing, okay, why am I competing? Because
yeah.
I can make X, Y, and Z from doing this.
And then that's my point too. It's like it's sad because then, like you said, I'm not making any money competing and so but I can make so much more money doing
Right.
this,
You can't really call it the dark side of bodybuilding. It's not. It's still a choice at the end of
Yeah,
the day, much like peptides. That's your choice you made. You knew what this
yeah.
was. Uh, 21st century. Everybody can't be ignorant. Oh, I didn't know. My coach did this, and I didn't know about that. No, there's too much information out there, And so at
Yes.
the end of the day, it's a choice. I don't judge you one way or another, but to sit there and talk about bodybuilding turned me out, bodybuilding made me a hoe. No, no. You know, I mean, it's a great article, and I love to write it in Amazon's Fitness Magazine, by the way. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to Amazon'sFitMag.com. But as a photographer, I do paid shoots from time to time because we got to get the content.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you got to know your worth. And hey, several, competitors like, hey, you're going to fly me in or what it is. Hey, the budget may just not be there. But by the same token, if I come to the show, book and shoot, and we'll go from there. But then, after the show's over, we'll say, hey, well, I want to be in the magazine. I want to share my story. Can you fly me in? Hey, I'm sorry. Better be top 5, top 10 Olympian in the world for me to consider, because at the end of the day, nobody knows who you are. Still admit,
Right.
I start throwing names out there. Of course, they know Linda Murray, Iris Kyle. They may know Andrea Shaw, but in women's bodybuilding, people like, unless they know who Ashley Jones is, unless they're in the competitive industry, not just fitness industry, but the competitive fitness
Right.
industry, they don't know who you are, and they can barely name the guys. So at the end of the day, that's where I'm at with it. I'm all about promoting the female physique and go over there and support goes both ways. But yeah, I can't fund your show. It has been, and I've been blessed to be able to sponsor an athlete last couple of years from 3 to 2, and now down to you, of course, and of course Ashley Jones, and that's hard. But you want to remain true and see where they go. And I've enjoyed watching your journey, and as well as Ashley's, as she's going forward all here at the Olympia. But at the end of the day, it's all about risk versus reward, return on investment. And I think I definitely get taken out of context. And I'm not trying to be on a rant, but it is what it is. But,
Go ahead.
Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Oh, well, you gonna pay me, dude? I'm not the smo. I'm not the simp. I'm not a pimp, and I'm damn sure no one's sugar daddy. But what I am is an opportunity for you to get your name out there and promote Amazon's Fitness Magazine, and go on from there. So if I'm a stepping board for you to bounce into bigger and better things, where now people are noticing you, then that's a great thing.
Right.
But as I said, I'm no one's simp, I'm no one's pimp, and I'm no one's sugar daddy.
Because everyone has bills to pay.
Yeah, everybody got bills. I definitely got bills to pay. I'm getting audited by the North Carolina Department of Revenue right now. But hey, looks like that's all going to be well. But still, I got to pay taxes.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you're a write-off. You're a write-off. And I make enough to the point where, I need a tax write-off. And so with GPS photography videos, the business, and then, of course, the magazine, yeah. At the end of the day, yep. And I'm looking for what else I can write off right now. But, yeah. I think I get taken out of context, and I just laugh. I'm like, no, I'm not that guy. And no, I don't want to, fund your X, Y, and Z. And, we can take some dope shots and have a dope photo shoot, but that's about it. I'm good. Anyway, rant complete. Talk to me about the new stuff that you got going on, because a lot of people don't really know Melitza. I know Melitza, but I mean, what do you want people to know about you, as far as your brand and the things that you're doing, and basically who you are? Let us know more about you, Mimi.
Most of my followers on Instagram, which that's also the reason why I started another page. But most of my followers, my early followers that are still on that page, before I started really turning it into a bodybuilding page, it was a very paranormal, spiritual kind of page that I had. Mm-hmm. So most of my followers that I have there stem from that. And then of course, I turned it more into bodybuilding, but you know me, and like I said, a lot of the people that really know me in real life know that mm-hmm. I'm obsessed with the paranormal. So mm-hmm. I just decided to open up a whole new page, where I have people mini stories, like true life stories of things that they've been through, with like paranormal stuff, things that they've seen. We're gonna be doing some ghost hunting on there.
Yeah, you gonna be doing some ghost hunting.
I know you're not gonna be there for that.
I'll be the one filming. I'm like, okay, I'm out.
I literally told
I'll give you a GoPro and hey, drive on.
I literally told Ben, he's gonna be doing like ghost hunting with me. I was like, so Glenn is definitely gonna help like film, my storytelling. Like that's nothing.
Well,
but I was like, I know for sure he's not gonna be there for no ghost hunting.
Nope, not me. Witches and goblins. Hey, I'll take you to West Virginia and show you some stuff, and you be like, hey,
you just wait for me outside. You just wait for me outside.
Nope. Yep. Not me. But explain what exactly is paranormal for those that don't know.
So like spirits, ghosts,
talking
aliens,
to the dead.
Talking to the dead.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, I'm not gonna necessarily be like live talking
Right.
to the dead, but like with the ghost hunting, like some things may happen, but the main part of that page and my YouTube channel, which is Moonlight Mysteries, is going to be like storytelling. Yeah, so I always describe it to people as Tales of the Crypt.
Yes,
and everyone's like,
I was going to say.
Tales of the Crypt, and I'm like, so that's pretty much like
that was a great show. Yeah.
Oh man, I was obsessed with that show when I was a kid. So that's pretty much the vibe that it's going to be. Like I'm going to be storytelling, except obviously Tales of the Crypt was like made up, or was it?
Right.
But my stuff is going to be things that either I lived through or that
based on a true story.
Other people, based on true stories. And like the thing is that a lot of people, like, no matter what your religion, a lot of people believe in the paranormal. And a lot of people know someone that has been through something paranormal.
Right.
So I was just like, you know what? Like, why not just start storytelling? And like, let's just see where this goes. I love doing it. And you know me, like I'm always a big, if you can make money out of something that you love doing, no matter what it is, as long as you're not hurting anyone, then
yes.
So
making money from your passion, and you never know where it goes.
Exactly. So
what you thought was just a hobby, and now you're getting paid.
And you're getting paid for it, And I would listen to a lot of like paranormal podcasts, and then one day I was just like, I have a lot of stories, and my family has a lot of stories, like from the Dominican Republic and stuff, like stuff that they've seen, stuff that they've been through. So I was like,
a lot of the kind of stuff that people will associate like out of New Orleans and like that, and witches and hants.
Yes,
you know what a hant is, right?
Yes.
So that coming up and hearing that story, and I'm like, it's like when you walk through a hant, you can have it'll be cold outside, and all of a sudden just a warm breeze.
Yes.
You just walk through one. Yep. And the flip side of that, when it's hot outside in summer, you walk through and it's cold. So my dad told me a lot of those stories, and it's crazy. But it is what it is.
Tell me some stories so that I can narrate it.
All I know is all it is in fabrication and lies, because there's too much stuff happening and stuff like that. So I know of it. I try to stay away from it because I like to move to the light, not the darkness.
But what? Everything is here and everything exists. So duality exists for a reason. God invented good the same way that God invented bad for a reason. We'll all be robots if there wasn't good and bad, because we'll have no discernment of what is good and what is bad. So I sit right in the middle, and I appreciate the good and I appreciate the bad.
And my takeaway is, like, when people say they don't believe in God, yet it's so easy for them to believe in the darkness. So I'm like, really?
Right.
But anyway, so the dichotomy, if you will. And I think it's ironic, it's October. I like to celebrate Halloween. I'm like, dude, if you don't want to give out candy, help yourself. Because as a kid growing up, that's the house that's probably going to get eggs. Oh, okay. No problem.
Yes. But, don't take it too
serious. I just got the candy and rolled on. Oh, but then the flip side of that is, So you don't believe in the darkness and all that with Halloween is associated with the devil, okay? But you're gonna believe in Santa Claus, though, right? Easter Bunny. Less than 2 weeks later, everybody's looking at Black Friday and Santa Claus is coming to
Yes.
town.
Yes.
You know, whether you're naughty or nice. So like, okay,
Yes. I love your thought process.
Miss
See,
me with that.
whether you like to admit or not, you sit right in the middle with me.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's the light and there is the darkness, and you stay away with the darkness because you can get caught up in the darkness. But anyway,
So yes, Moonlight
good.
Mysteries.
Mm-hmm. So now, are you going to write an article based on that? Is that something you want to base on your stories? Have you ever thought about doing a book and whatnot? Or
I would like to eventually take like eventually maybe like 1 or 2 years from now, like the best of the best stories that I've gotten and turn them into a book.
Yeah.
With like the best of the best stories. Because also like so I've been trying to explain to people that this is not just like, yeah, people are submitting their stories to me, but I think you already know this. I remember like the first time I sent you an article, you were like, wow, you can really write. Like people are submitting stories to me, but you know, you have to make it interesting. So, you know, every now and then I'll add like, you know, where like, let's say it was a movie, like a special effect, but like, through writing, which makes people like, oh, what's going to happen next? So I have to take what they're giving me and narrate it in a way that makes people interested and invested in what's coming next. So it's not just, okay, submit a story and I'm just going to sit here.
You got to have a cliffhanger. Yeah.
Right. You know, I'm not just sitting here reading a story with all these typos that, you know, I got to make it interesting. So there's a lot that goes into it. And like, the more that I'm like trying to get myself ready to start recording, the more that I see like, okay, this is not just going to be a walk in the park. Like this is actually going to be work, you know, especially if I want it to be the way I want it to be. I've already showed you like little examples of what I want like it to kind of look like. So yeah, it's going to be work. And obviously like the first few months, like it's not going to be perfected. But as time goes on and the better that you get with it, then the better it's going to be. I tell people, I'm like, no, this is going to be a production. Like, this is a full production that we're doing. Like, it's not just me sitting there propping my phone up. Like, no, you're bringing the lights. You're bringing everything. Like, this is going to, like, we're, like, people are going to go home and they're like, ooh, I want to go and see
There you go.
Mysteries.
We got to you know, writing scripts and, of course, lighting and, of course, different, you know, how you want to set up the scene, the stages, you know, costumes, props.
Yeah. So that's another thing. So when I used to perform, I kind of like had like, you know, a Lego Rose, and everyone was always like, who's the Lego Rose? And I'm like, well, you know, when artists perform, they have their alter ego. And that alter ego is actually something that like they feel like they literally transform into like someone else, something else. You know, people see it on stage and they're like, this is not like the same person. So when I was a dancer and I would perform and stuff, like I was a Lego Rose. So a Lego Rose is gonna be who everyone is seeing, you know. So I'm not just gonna be like dressed like this, like the makeup is gonna be done, the hair is gonna be done, the costumes, the outfits, like everything is gonna be like planned out and thought of. So it's not just me in regular people clothes, and I wear gym clothes 24/7. Where I work, I'm in like regular gym clothes anyways. So no, I'm gonna be dressed up. I'm gonna be dressed up, and there's gonna be not the Mimi that everyone is used to seeing, which is loud and funny, and no, like that Mimi is out the window when like a Lego Rose steps in.
And what kind of dance did you used to do though?
Everything.
I mean, like,
well, I wasn't a stripper.
Which I'm still waiting to see. And
when I tell people that, when I tell people that, they automatically think stripper.
Exactly.
I'm like, everything. I'm like, everything but that. I did everything but that.
So tell everybody what it is. It's interpretive dance.
I've done ballet. I've done jazz. I've done tap. You know, the Hispanic cultural dances. You know, like the bomba, plena, palo, bachata, all of that. You know, I used to teach bachata, I
Yeah.
used to teach salsa. I've done burlesque dancing.
There you go.
So yeah, a little bit of everything I've done, except I was never a stripper hoe.
Yeah. Well,
I
we
probably
got
would have made a lot of money
stripper
though.
hoe.
Probably would have made so much fucking money being a stripper
I,
hoe.
I believe you would. I would. But you know.
Because if I was a stripper hoe, it would be more artistic than just like shaking my ass. I'd be like, no, this is a whole production.
Well, maybe we'll explore that one day. But anyway.
No, I would love to. I would love to get back to dancing. It's just it's hard out here. Like I don't really find like up north like you have so much.
But you were in the city, so I mean
exactly.
you're in the
So you
country
find
now.
that everywhere, and out here it's more difficult. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll open up a school one day. Maybe this will blow up so much that I can afford to open up a school. Who knows?
And definitely. And we got to get back to your coffee too, because you are a coffee connoisseur. A lot of people don't know.
Yes, that's coming. That's coming eventually.
I hear you. So that's coming up soon. Working on it. The paranormal. What is it again? Not Midnight Mysteries.
Moonlight Mysteries. So on Instagram it's _Moonlight Mysteries _.
Okay. So y'all need to look at that. We'll, of course, highlight that next week when we come back on Wellness.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
and I
mean,
like, even like in the photo shoots for like that page and everything, like there's definitely a different vibe. Like
that way
like
we can shoot for an opening for that. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm super excited to premiere that. I'm super excited to start something that like I've always been like passionate about and like not scared about. A lot of people are scared, even though like they'll be interested in it, like they're scared to like touch the topic, and I'm not.
The realness out there, But that's why I get, that's why I get so enamored. Like you got so much belief in the darkness, but you can't believe that there's a light.
Right.
So,
or vice versa.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
I wanted to talk about and touch on going into next year, and you can close it out with this. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling? We discussed some of the shows, but going into I think it's going to be your 4th year as a pro, right?
So yes and no. I don't really count my first year as a pro because I only did like my pro debut, and then I just completely stopped for 2 years.
Kind of like a 0 year.
Right. So I would say this is really like my true 3rd year. Like going into my 3rd year, like truly as a pro. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I'm definitely going to, especially now with this point system. Definitely.
Yeah, the point system. Your thoughts on that? Because top tier shows and like,
Yeah.
Student almost said students and kids, but anyway, compared to only going to do the shows where they're at least going to be able to get points, and that's top tier shows, and that brings up a whole new dynamic and creates a new pathway to the Olympia by virtue of points.
Yeah,
which wellness and bikini I've never had before. Well, to an extent,
I think the first year of wellness was still point system, but
the purpose of it is to get the numbers down.
To get the numbers down. But then it's like, are you truly having the best of the best when you do that? Or are you just having people that can afford to compete constantly to rack up the points?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm just like kind of in the middle because like, yeah, of course they're going to have the top 5 because no matter what show they're in, like let's be realistic. Let's stop hiding behind the bush. This is a business. So no matter what show any of those top 5 Olympians go to, they're gonna end up going back to the Olympia.
Right.
Now the rest of the people, let's say for example, you have someone from Brazil that only has 3 weeks to compete, because a lot of their sponsors, that's what they do. They fly them out and here you got 3 or 4 weeks to pump out as many shows as you can. And that's it. And then you have someone who lives in America, who has good sponsors that will pay for everything and anything, or they themselves can just afford to constantly do show after show after show, where maybe this Brazilian was only able to do 2 shows, but they look amazing. But then this person looks good, but not better than that Brazilian, but they just were able to rack up all those points.
Right.
Are you truly going to have the best of the best on stage after like place 7?
So it still comes down to haves and have-nots. The top 3 are automatically qualified from the Olympia, but now you look at 4 through 10 are the odds-on favorites to automatically be back next year. And I guess the opening show, the biggest show, is going to be the Arnolds.
The Arnolds.
That's by invite. So, yeah.
So I don't know. I guess we'll just see. I guess we are just literally going to have to see and like kind of like sit there and compare the athletes from this year versus the athletes from next year and really see, okay, is it kind of mediocre athletes now, aside from like the top 5, or the rest kind of mediocre because they can afford to just do all these shows?
Right.
Or are you still really getting the best of the best?
And then if you're a promoter and you don't have a top tier show, our competitors are going to come and do your show. Well, I'm not going to be able to get as many points at your show, or your show's not a top tier show.
Well, I think there's only like 3 top tier shows anyway.
Right. So unless it's an Olympia qualifier,
And no, there is none.
Yeah.
First place doesn't get you Olympia anymore. First place just gets you the most points now. So even if you get first place, you still got to do another show in order to secure and get first place in that show. So if you don't get first place in that other show,
you got to verify.
You still have not secured your spot. Yeah.
You got to verify.
So then, a lot of people are upset because now they're like, so are they just trying to make more money off of us when it's already hard?
Well, the promoter that doesn't have a top tier show, they're not going to make any money.
No. I mean like the IFBB.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of I've been hearing that a lot from like the competitors. Like, are they just trying to?
Well, the primary purpose is to get the numbers down because they don't want 30, 40 bikini competitors at the Olympia.
Yeah.
And likewise with the wellness. So that was the genuine initial purpose.
Yeah.
And then once you get that top 25 of that number, do you cut it off? Because you very well could have that number. If the Olympia is going to be in September, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because now it just creeped up 2 months earlier than what at one time being in December. So you got from the Arnolds in March.
They've already started giving out points since last month for next year.
That's right. True.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Does it make it harder on a competitor because they really need to do more shows to qualify? You got to do 2, but we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing we can do but just literally just see the quality of competitors that are on stage. I personally think like I'm like in the middle because I see their point of view, but then as a competitor and the other competitors that I spoke with, I see their point of view too. A lot of them are like, we just can't afford to do show after show after show. Like this economy does not allow us to do show after show after show.
And then overseas shows versus state shows.
And that's another thing. Like Carrie, we were talking. She was a little upset too because she's like, I would literally just have to it's harder for them to even get the points.
Right.
So they have to come to America to get the
points. Stay like 3 months.
Exactly. So it's like I said, I see both points, and I just feel like what they might end up having to do is just kind of like sit down again and just revise that. Come up with something that they can just meet in the middle. And I don't, what it is. I don't know. Maybe first place automatically goes, and then the rest is based on the point system.
Right.
But then again, it's like if first place automatically goes, that's kind of what they've been doing. There's just so many shows.
Right. But only not all of them will be for points, and not all of them will be top tier shows because they gotta make a cutoff. Because you do just as many shows, you're gonna end up with the same amount of competitors.
Exactly.
Unless if you're cutting it off at 25, I don't know. We'll see how it works out.
We'll see.
This week is all about the Olympia. And lastly, of course, we got some photo shoots coming up. Loving the cosplay. body paint. You want to tell anybody a little bit
No.
about that? It's the cosplay season.
No, don't say anything. They're
Right.
gonna have to wait and see. It's a surprise, but you guys are gonna love it.
All right, Melitza. As always, Wellness Wednesday. Thanks for doing the show. It's your show. If anyone want to sponsor, please reach out. The sponsor Wellness Wednesday with Melitza Guerrero because that helps her get the shows as well.
Yes.
So if you're interested in sponsoring her from the standpoint of Wellness Wednesday, where you want to go, take it. The paranormal ideas, Moonlight Mysteries, right?
Yes, Moonlight Mysteries.
And let us know. All right.
Ciao, guys. See you next time after the Olympia so we can talk about the Olympia.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely next Wednesday.
Yes. All right, guys.
All right. Talk soon. Bye. Wellness Wednesday with Melitza Guerrero. There you have it. Always great to talk to her and keep building as she's going into her fourth year as a pro. Like I said, she didn't count last year, so she had like a 0 year. But at the end of the day, it's great that to continue following her journey and continue to sponsor her as a sponsored athlete of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Bottom line, if you go to Amazon's Fitness Magazine, you can scan the QRC code. And of course, you can get the magazine, go to amazonsfitmag.com, click on issues, and then you can order the issue. Latest issue, Nori Fonseca, that's on the summer issue. But then also, if you want to go back into the archives, you're definitely going to want to get this one from Jessica Reyes Padilla. You could be looking at Miss Olympia right there. So let's get these copies ordered so that when you show up at her meet and greet, you can get them signed all year long. And of course, looking forward to shooting her again soon so she can be back on the cover of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. And so I appreciate everyone's support. Subscribe to AmazonFitMag.com. Because when you do more, I can do more. And let's keep this thing going as we're going into 2026. All the best to everyone at the Olympia competing this week. And we'll have the talk all next week as you follow the competitors and see who did well, who won, and who didn't. And then as we roll into the 2026 season. So we will see you next time.